So in this video, I want to go over, I guess, my first impressions of my CZ455. This CZ is what's called a Canadian edition. Effectively, this is a CZ455 American, but the stock is just slightly different. It's it's different colored, has the Canadian maple leaf, and the checkering's a bit different. But in all intents and purposes, it's a CZ455 American. And I went to the range today. This is my first ever shooting of this gun. And I guess I'm going to tell you what I love about it, and I'm going to tell you what so far I don't like about it. The list of things I don't like is pretty short, though. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, I'll sort of fill you in on what's on this gun. So, CZ455, DIP 25 MOA base. I like using 25 MOA bases on my 22 guns because it puts a lot of minutes back in my scope, and so I like that. Caldwell 6-9 bipod. The scope is a Bushnell Legend Ultra HD 4.5-14. What I like about this scope is that it parallaxes all the way down to about 15 yards. So it does have a parallax adjustment on the side of this scope, which I really like. And lets you really get nice clear focus. And 14 power, which some people think is overkill, but my other gun, which is a Savage Mark II TR, runs a 20 power scope. And and the rings are they're the Vortex Viper rings, which I do love. I love my Viper rings. They're about around $80 to $100 depending on where you buy them, and I just think they're phenomenal value. So. I guess let's start with the things I like, which is it's a fantastic shooter. I mean, if you've ever shot a CZ gun, this is my first CZ, and I've got quite a few 22s. So, and I would say I've accurized most of my 22s. So, in a roundabout way, it didn't blow me away with the accuracy. It shoots fantastic, but some of my other 22s shoot really good as well. So, but if we really think of this as a bone stock gun that has, a bipod on it, an okay scope, with a decent set of rings, and like I say, with the DIP base on it, the Picatinny rail, this thing shoots great. And I guess I'll go on to the things I don't like. And the only thing I really don't like with this gun so far, and I really have only shot, today I went out and I shot 5 boxes of 22 LR, so I got about 250 rounds through this gun. And, I have to admit, when I was at the range and I was talking to a guy there, and I actually let a couple guys shoot the gun, they were blown away by the accuracy of it. And, I mean, they are good, but I didn't love the trigger. I hadn't done a pull weight on it yet, and I said, God, I think this trigger's around 3.5 pounds. And that's what it feels like, but I did some pulls just before I did this video, and it seemed to consistently pull about 2 pounds. So I'm really kind of baffled. It really feels worse than that. And maybe because it's got some creep, and it doesn't seem to have it doesn't feel consistent to me, and I had some really good groups today, and I had a couple which, were the odd flyer. And, I really just think it's the trigger. So I want to try to do some work to this trigger. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to order a trigger kit or anything for it yet. Let's be honest. I mean, I've been to the range once with it, and I've shot, 200, 250 rounds through it. So I think we have to give this thing some time. But I mean, I'm used to really the one I'm used to is my Savage Mark II. And I love AccuTriggers, I really do. And I tend to even modify my AccuTriggers. I tend to cut the spring down even a little bit more. And my thought on that is that I set it to the lowest setting possible. Usually you get around 1.5, 2 pounds, 2.5, whatever, depending on the gun. And I like to get them down to around 1 pound, because I can always increase from there with the AccuTrigger. You can run as low as just under 1 pound safely, all the way up to whatever, say 2.5 pounds. Again, just by twisting in the screw. And with this one, I think what I'm going to do is, the trigger looks really, really simple to modify. So I just have to, punch out one little piece, and then the trigger will sort of come apart. There's a spring in there. I'm just going to start nipping down that spring a little bit, and I want to get this right around about 1 or 1.2 pounds. And then again, because there is an adjustment screw, you know, it's like about this long, and there's like a little thread at the bottom. So again, similar to an AccuTrigger. So we're going to try that, but that's it. I mean, I love the gun. Groups are fantastic so far. I've only shot CCI standard velocity. That's all I've shot through this gun so far is the CCI. What else can I say? I mean, that's sort of it. I'll actually do a bit of a trigger pull here. I do have a piece of spent brass in here, and I'll let you guys sort of see what I'm getting. There we go. So let's see if I can focus that in. So there you guys go, just under 2 pounds. And like I say, that should feel fantastic. But for some reason, again, I haven't shot this gun enough, but you know, I wasn't blown away by the trigger, and my thought was when I was leaving the range was, God, I got to modify this trigger. I got to get it down to about pound and a half. Well, it's not far off of that, but I think what I'd like to do is eventually I probably will get a trigger kit, and I can't remember the name of it, but there's a really popular one that's for the 455s and for these CZ 22 LRs that I can get, at least in North America, Canada, and the States. And I think it also it takes a lot of the creep out of it as well. So I'd like a nice crisp trigger, and I'd like to get it down to around a pound and a half. So that's it, guys. I mean, this is I guess my first impressions with the CZ 455. To wrap up, they're fantastic guns. If you've never shot a CZ, give them a try. I mean, they are really impressive shooters. And like I say, there's nothing really too special about this one. It's really just, technically, it's a CZ American edition, and it's not the heavy fluted barrel. It's not the heavy barrel, or you know, it's not their sort of tactical one. Nothing like that. I mean, it's just a standard CZ, but it shoots great. If you guys like this video, please click like, and as always, please click subscribe. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.